Sheryl Crow, Pamela Anderson, and Audrey Berry, Kid Rock's long-term fiancée, are finally speaking out, adding to his never-ending stream of controversial statements. What exactly are they disclosing? It's just astonishing. These ladies reveal a side of Kid Rock that the public has never seen before, from his explosive breakups to the turmoil that goes on behind the scenes. In these relationships, what transpired? Why are they finally speaking out? Now, let's explore the shocking disclosures that have rock stars everywhere in a spin. What Sheryl Crow and Kid Rock didn't want the world to know. Sounds, whispers, and facts. Sheryl Crow will be performing with Kid Rock. While in Cincinnati for the premiere, the two pals talk about their connection. There is always an interesting backstory to be told whenever two legendary musicians team up. In 2002, for their now iconic duet, Picture, Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow did just that. The music industry will never be the same because of what started as an unexpected partnership but ended up becoming a classic hit that will never go out of style. What was really going on behind the scenes, though, outside the lyrics and melody? Did these two performers have a connection beyond their music? This song will make you pause and take notice. Everything about it strikes a chord with listeners: the unvarnished anguish of a broken heart, the haunting melody, and the genuine passion. Essentially, it's a song about heartbreak, and it sounds so authentic that you may think it came from a sad love tale. Her deep voice and poetic storytelling have made her a staple in the industry. She linked up with Kid Rock, noted for his gritty blend of rock and rap. They did something together that neither of them had ever attempted before. An unfiltered anthem for love and loss that broke down musical barriers. The version that everyone knows and loves actually didn't get airplay very often, though. A different version featuring Allison Moore was issued to radio stations due to licensing concerns with Crow's record company. But destiny has different intentions. The Crow version became the definitive version that cemented its position in music history as it was universally loved by fans. Speculation arose due to the indisputable chemistry that existed between Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow while they were recording the song, even if the song itself became legendary. Their voices harmonized so perfectly, and the sincerity and intimacy of their performance left listeners in awe. Did their relationship go beyond surface level? If they weren't going through the same suffering they were singing about, how could they provide such an honest performance? There was a media frenzy as soon as the photo became a smash hit. Speculation abounds in the tabloids regarding a possible romantic relationship between Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow. Their differences only served to heighten interest in the concept. Both Kid Rock, the carefree, unfiltered rock star, and Sheryl Crow, the elegant, reflective lyricist, are rock stars. The public was captivated by the classic example of how opposites attract. Speculation about their relationship was rampant in the gossip columns, and the paparazzi tracked their every step in the hopes of capturing evidence of it. Did they have a hidden relationship? Did the couple's love story mirror the one in the picture? There was a climax in the speculation. There were a few devoted admirers who insisted there had to be some truth to the bond they shared when performing and recording. Here, though, is the reality. Their relationship was always platonic. Laughing at the rumors and emphasizing that their connection was all business, Kid Rock and Sheryl Crow dealt with the rumors head-on. Even Crow made a joke about how people can't help but suspect there's something amiss when they hear the two of them collaborating on music in an interview. Despite being a simple country ballad about loss, Kid Rock's Picture was fraught with controversy. Kid Rock, who is known for his unfiltered honesty, also clarified things. He spoke highly of Crow, but emphasized that their relationship was based on admiration rather than romance. Why else would they have poured their hearts into Picture if they weren't truly in love? Their skill as artists holds the key. Both artists are quite good at making music that is based on their own experiences. They could have brought the scene to life without being romantically involved. They were master storytellers, and their tales always hit close to home. In retrospect, Sheryl Crow praised Kid Rock's artistic courage and talent as she thought on their partnership. She admired his courage to try new things, and he admired her commitment to being genuine. Their bond had nothing to do with love. There was mutual appreciation for music and an awareness of what makes a song special. Crow has consistently praised Kid Rock's talent, even if their musical approaches are very different. She has complimented his bold approach to music, his hard ethic, and his ability to merge genres smoothly. He is a genuine artist, she has said in multiple interviews. And has spoken frankly about her pleasure in his company. Kid Rock exemplified Crow's lifelong value of being genuine, which she had always valued. Their mutual admiration for one another's work cut across musical styles, even if her preference is for folk and country. Meanwhile, Kid Rock has spoken highly of Crow, praising her demeanor as much as her music. He has said that she is a remarkable woman who brings tranquility into his life, which is unusual given the general mayhem around him. That is in sharp contrast to Kid Rock's previous relationships, which were frequently exposed to the public's severe scrutiny. His relationships have been highly publicized, often for the wrong reasons. The true difference, though, becomes apparent at that point. Kid Rock has embraced a reputation that is fueled by controversy, in contrast to Sheryl Crow's career in life that is built on solitude and authenticity. He delights in disorder and is unafraid to say what's on his mind, even if it annoys others. His egotism, political stances, and refusal to fit in with the crowd have all contributed to his public persona. They had opposing views on celebrity and public life, but their working relationship was based on mutual regard and creative teamwork. When it comes to Kid Rock's public image, he has never shied away from controversy. Kid Rock has created an iconic yet divisive persona with his bold statements and attention-grabbing activities. But how much of it is genuine and what portion is staged? But what about his closest friends and family? In the face of this perpetual storm, how do they protect him? At that point, things start to get intriguing. In a moment, we will go deeply into Kid Rock's public persona and the scandals surrounding him, so stay tuned. After this, you won't be able to resist reading what's coming up. The public perception and disputes around Kid Rock controversy has always been a part of Kid Rock's life. His music, political opinions, and confrontational demeanor have consistently put him in the middle of contentious discussions. Tell me what you're smoking. The result is stunning. Wow, that aroma is just delightful. Refreshing beer and a brief story by Fuente. Okay, I was on the money with that sale. Tonight is absolutely ideal for a party. His unwavering position on numerous subjects has garnered him loyal fans while turning off others throughout the years. The entertainment business is deeply divided over him due to his controversial statements, rebellious attitude, and strong support for specific political parties. Openly endorsing Donald Trump for president in 2016 and 2020 was one of his most controversial moves. Kid Rock was unflinching in his political identification, even though it alienated some of his fans. His directness was praised by some but viewed as divisive and provocative by others. The 2019 allegations that Kid Rock made obscene comments during a live concert were another big scandal. There was an immediate reaction. In response to his detractors' demands that his music and companies be boycotted, Kid Rock was unfazed by the backlash and continued to stand firm on his comments. In the entertainment industry, his reputation as an unfiltered, no-holds-barred personality has been solidified by his penchant to provoke controversy. Amidst the chaos and scrutiny in the media, one question remains unanswered. To what extent has his bond with Audrey Berry persisted? He has kept his relationship with Berry under wraps, in contrast to his more public romances in the past. Many believe that their relationship is protected from the scrutiny and controversy that have dogged him for his whole career because of her understated attitude toward fame. Even Kid Rock has praised Berry, describing her as his rock when times are tough. His flamboyant personality stands in stark contrast to her quiet demeanor, filling the void in his life that his previous high-profile relationships may have left. Berry keeps out of the spotlight so he doesn't become the object of public shaming. Their love flourishes in the relative quiet of Kid Rock's public existence. The media has never been shy in analyzing his love life in great detail. As an example, consider his short marriage to Pamela Anderson. Tabloids covered every incident, from arguments to reconciliations and dramatic moments in between. Their relationship was rocky because of their divergent work and personal priorities. There was a lot of drama and incompatibility presented in the media when their marriage dissolved. But it's a whole different ballgame with Audrey Berry. Berry prefers to stay out of the limelight, in contrast to Anderson's glamorous famous existence, appearing rarely in public and doing their best to keep their romance out of the spotlight. There was none of the drama surrounding Kid Rock's engagement announcements compared to his previous partnerships. Many are wondering if he has finally discovered the secret to a long-term relationship because of this striking disparity. Kid Rock and Audrey Berry may have found the key to enduring the demands of celebrity by keeping their romance under wraps. They are able to form a bond outside from the scrutiny of the public eye and on their own terms when the media isn't hovering over them. But before we get into the ins and outs of his present relationship, let's take a look at Kid Rock's notorious fling with Pamela Anderson. Their explosive romance was all over the news, but where did it go wrong? How did their marriage end in such a shocking way? Keep watching. While the revelations surrounding their passionate romance are only scratching the surface. The passionate relationship between Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson was short-lived. An intense, dramatic, and media-saturated romance blossomed between Kid Rock and Pamela Anderson. In contrast to Kid Rock's creative partnership with Sheryl Crow, his relationship with Anderson was characterized by extreme highs and devastating lows. They were a highly publicized couple in the early 2000s. In the early 2000s, when Kid Rock was at the peak of his music career and Pamela Anderson was already a worldwide icon from Baywatch, they were captivated by each other and their love affair began. Everyone was enamored with them. Blonde bombshell she was and defiant rock star he was. Their connection was obvious. Pam and Kid Rock tied the marriage in 2006 after deciding to do so in 2005. They divorced in 2007. There had been 4 marriages to her. To all appearances, it was the rock and roll fairy tale come to life. The marriage ceremony was just as unique as the couple themselves. Anderson made news for her bold decision to wear a white bikini instead of a traditional wedding attire as she exchanged vows with her husband aboard a beautiful yacht in St. Tropez. Behind the elegant exterior, tension was building, although the photos showed a carefree romance and intense sensuality. Their marriage started to exhibit signs of strain almost immediately. Their extremely dissimilar way of life was one of the main obstacles. The priorities of Anderson collided with Kid Rock's notoriously wild and party-oriented lifestyle. She was starting to put more emphasis on environmental and animal rights advocacy, whereas Kid Rock was still very much into rock and rebellion. Their ardent love swiftly transformed into ferocious disagreements due to these basic disparities. According to reports, their relationship was already on the brink of collapse when the now infamous Borat incident occurred. Among the last straws was a supposedly heated argument that began when Anderson made a surprise appearance in the comedy flick, which took Kid Rock off guard. In November 2006, Pamela Anderson filed for a divorce, stating that she and her husband had irreconcilable problems, only 4 months after they were married. Married Pam filed for a dissolution of her marriage on July 3, 2016. They were first wed in 2007, but their marriage was later annulled because they were only married for 2 months. Just as abruptly as it had started, their marriage had ended by 2007. Anderson discussed their relationship openly following their breakup. Fun but crazy was how she put it. Implying that, although they loved each other, their personalities were just too different to make their marriage work. Their passionate and spontaneous affair had been thrilling, but it couldn't last. The divorce was a watershed moment in Anderson's life. She shifted her focus to activism, where she collaborated with groups like PETA and used her celebrity to speak out for subjects she believed in. Along with that, she stayed out of the limelight in Hollywood, choosing a life that is less public and more focused on their goals. As for Kid Rock, he stuck to his image of a rebel by keeping making songs and being visible in the public spotlight. However, while Pamela Anderson went on, Kid Rock discovered love again, but with a woman who had nothing to do with his troubled history. Audrey Berry, his long-standing fiancée, chose a very different approach, opting to keep their relationship private. But who is Audrey Berry, and how did she, in a society that loves a good scandal, manage to keep their romance under wraps? Audrey Berry, the rock-solid support system for Kid Rock. Pictured in people's minds when they think of Kid Rock are his flamboyant persona, his rap, country, and rock music influences, and his storied love history. He has never shied away from the limelight, whether it be because of his no-filter demeanor or his whirlwind romance and marriage to Pamela Anderson. However, things change drastically when it concerns his long-term partner, Audrey Berry. Like the other well-known ladies with whom Kid Rock has been associated, Audrey Berry remains shrouded in mystery. The lady he claims to love more than anything else in the world, who is she, and why is she so reclusive? Neither famous nor attention-seeking, Audrey Berry is a name that rarely makes news. Compared to Kid Rock's high-energy, provocative lifestyle, she couldn't be more different. Berry, who is naturally reserved, has avoided the limelight despite having a boyfriend who was one of the most talked-about characters in music. However, she desires it in just that kind. She first crossed paths with Kid Rock in the early 2000s, following the breakup of his troubled romance with Pamela Anderson. They had a bond that went beyond the superficial, beyond the whirlwind of celebrity. In 2017, Kid Rock and Audrey Berry's engagement was announced without the usual pomp and circumstance. On the contrary, during Kid Rock's private fan event, the Chill in the Most cruise, attendees observed a diamond ring on her finger. Nothing flashy, just a peaceful moment that befitted their relationship. No magazine covers, no internet sensations. Kid Rock's previous relationships, including his highly publicized marriage to Pamela Anderson, are in sharp contrast to this quiet, understated romance. Berry has gone in a very different direction than Anderson, who flourished in the limelight and frequently used it for advocacy and professional opportunities. She isn't active on social media and keeps a low profile, and remains shrouded in mystery even when interviewed by Kid Rock. Many are wondering why his current partnerships are so drastically different from his previous ones. Does Kid Rock find his footing with the help of Audrey Berry? Does she prefer to stay out of the spotlight for some other reason, though? Sheryl Crow, an enduring voice and an unwavering determination. There aren't many musicians who can stay relevant in the music industry as long as Sheryl. People often ponder what Sheryl Crow is thinking at this very moment. It is quite astonishing how she went from being a young, inexperienced musician in the early 90s to becoming a famous singer-songwriter today. Sheryl has cemented her position in music history with her distinctive voice and talent for writing songs that touch people of all ages. Her discography serves as a soundtrack to the ups and downs of life, from her 1993 breakthrough album Tuesday Night Music Club to timeless classics like If It Makes You Happy and Soak Up the Sun. Not only does Sheryl's music stand out, but so does her ability to adapt while remaining authentic. Even though fashions come and go, she has managed to stay regarded and current in her field. While many musicians find it difficult to reinvent themselves, Sheryl has done it with ease while staying true to her own style. It has not been easy for her in her journey. She fought a devastating battle with breast cancer in 2006. One relationship ended with my diagnosis of breast cancer. She became a strong advocate for early detection and women's health, rather than allowing her struggle to overwhelm her profession. She was just as powerful off stage as she was on stage, and her candor about her ordeal moved many. That was just the beginning of her activism. In an effort to make a difference, Sheryl has used her position to passionately promote environmental causes, disaster relief, and education projects. No matter if she's playing to sold-out audiences or composing deeply felt songs in her Nashville home, Sheryl Crow is undeniably a formidable musician. She has overcome obstacles, reimagined her identity, and remains an inspiration. But how does Pamela Anderson, another legendary blonde, go from being a Hollywood bombshell to an unafraid champion? Hold on tight to find out. Pamela Anderson, a trailblazing advocate and Hollywood legend. Pamela Anderson's role as the beach-loving lifeguard on Baywatch was her most famous role for many years. An American icon, then, is our first guest. Indeed. I was famous on Baywatch. Her crimson bikini came to represent the 90s in popular culture. The world failed to recognize the depth and dedication that resided beneath that glitzy exterior. She was never defined by her popularity, even though it gained her worldwide notoriety. Pamela has defied all odds over the last 20 years, emerging from her glamorous Hollywood career to become a leading voice for social justice. Her metamorphosis was more than just unexpected. Extremely novel. Pamela chose to utilize her celebrity status to fight for things she believed in, rather than bask in the limelight. She made it her life's goal to end animal cruelty and injustice, and she joined forces with groups like PETA to combat industries like fur and factory farming. She wasn't content to merely voice her support for these causes. She took decisive action, addressing global leaders in letters, denouncing injustice publicly, and committing herself entirely to creating an impact. However, she evolved beyond activism. By writing Love, Pamela, a memoir that delves into her life's complexities, Pamela also discovered her voice as an author. She opens up about the ups and downs of her life, the hardships and successes that molded her in it. A survivor and a former Hollywood star are both revealed in the book. Robust, multifaceted, and profoundly reflective. Her latest memoir is this. Love, Pamela is the name of it. Additionally, her documentary Pamela, A Love Story is available on Netflix. Let me introduce you to Pamela Anderson. Redefining oneself is possible at any point in life, as Pamela has shown time and again while facing personal difficulties and public criticism. She went from being a beloved figure in popular culture to a courageous champion. demonstrating that true beauty goes beyond outward appearances and encompasses qualities such as bravery, self-confidence, and the will to stand up for causes bigger than oneself. Although Pamela's narrative has been extensively chronicled, the identity of Audrey Berry, the lady linked to Kid Rock, has remained a mystery. Tell me about the mysterious woman who works behind the scenes. What makes her decide to remain hidden? Be sure to tune in to find out the answer. The mysterious Audrey Berry, the reserved lady hiding from the limelight. When it comes to the ladies Kid Rock has been linked to, Audrey Berry isn't as well known as Pamela Anderson or Sheryl Crow. Her decision to stay out of the spotlight makes her mysterious in an age where celebrity relationships are always in the spotlight. Who is this mysterious woman who managed to win over the heart of one of the most controversial and charismatic people in rock and roll, yet she prefers to stay hidden? In contrast to Kid Rock's previous flings, Audrey Berry and Kid Rock's relationship developed discreetly, away from the prying eyes of the public, in the early 2000s. Away from the whirlwind of Hollywood's spotlight, Audrey and Kid Rock created something unique, something that didn't involve a magazine cover or a shocking social media reveal while the world was transfixed on his more publicized relationships. Audrey was seen wearing a ring during one of Kid Rock's events, but the news broke gently instead. This subtlety was in sharp contrast to his earlier interactions, yet it was understandable to those around him. It says a lot about Audrey's character that she can stay out of the limelight even when she's with a controversial guy like Kid Rock. Quests for stardom are not her thing. She also doesn't look to the public for approval. She prefers to keep to herself, exuding a subdued power that contrasts with Kid Rock's more outspoken and defiant personality. This, along with her devotion, autonomy, and defiance of the entertainment world, is why her fans adore her. Although little is known about Audrey Berry, the fact that she is a part of Kid Rock's life demonstrates his commitment and stability. In your opinion, how should he handle the divorce? Post your opinions in the space provided. It would mean a lot if you liked and subscribed.